14 of the National Football League, and we've got a showdown in the NFC North. It's the Vikings and the Bears, next on Madden NFL 22.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands on the pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
45. And it's getting them hooks up. Check 45.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. That's complete. Bernard. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He'll leave that underneath to Sermon. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward. That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To the air again, Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And right away he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, that sure started out as a good example of what they call backed up or coming out on offense, meaning you're backed up close to your own goal line. Big-time emphasis on practicing that to try and create some room at no less to give the punter a chance to kick the ball away. It means take care of the ball, try and create some space. They were doing that, and the ball comes free.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll make it second down. They give to Sermon out of the gun. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
Touchdown, Bears! A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And, Charles, for this defense, yeah, they're a confident bunch. Some may say maybe too confident at times. How do you think that they approach a game like this when they're taking on a team that's lost 4 straight?
Well, if they're anything like their head coach, you know they're relying on that confidence. You and I both were sort of surprised at his weekly press conference when he was asked about this being a trap game. And he was almost boasting that he didn't see anything to worry about. That surprised both of us in a big way, because we know that could be a dangerous tactic, because I can guarantee you the guys on the other side, they heard that, and they're looking for anything to galvanize them.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is
shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Fields. This to the outside, it's Sermon. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to throw, Fields. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take...
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And able to find Allen Lazard. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe...
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Chicago! Will Fuller with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I saw with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? He said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives. Meanwhile, Cousins throw complete there to Smith. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there. Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
on second down. Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Got a man. That's Lazard. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play fake. Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. They'll get this underneath to Madison. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Again, it's Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Cousins to throw it. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Cousins again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bears take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to get out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8. Touchdown!
It's complete. Trey Sermon, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Bears will add on to their lead. Santos with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. 5 plays there on that drive, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off the play fake, Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen, and even 60 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Now Cousins. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the third quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now at Soldier Field. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Fields now to throw.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a hole to avoid the contact. A nice run there. He calls his own number, gets the 1st down, and then slides to a stop before he has to take any contact.
And that absolutely has to please this coaching staff because you know they've been drilling into his head. You're no good to us on the sidelines if you're not playing, right? If you have to be over here full-time with us, that doesn't work so well. We need you on the field, so sliding like that, they'll take that every time.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Cousins on first down. And this one complete to Smith. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game film from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To the air again, it's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. From the 31, Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They'll fire this deep for Gallup. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Again, it's Sermon. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Bears, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they're squarely...